It's time to begin a brand new high school football season here in North Carolina. Time for week one of the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Rolesville at Butler, a big-time playoff field matchup for our first of the season. As always, I'm with Reginald Walker Jr. I'm Darren Vaught. Reggie, this one should be a good one. A lot of talent between these two sides.
Yeah, you're probably talking about, give or take 15 to 20 Division I football players on this field tonight. And that guy right there committed to Mercer, Braden Atkinson at quarterback. But also here at Butler, it's a new era of high school football as Brian Hales has stepped down. But you see right there, Braden Atkinson, nothing but efficient, 46 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions. But Darren, 72% completions. This guy knows how to make right decisions with the football.
The Rams, a great team a season ago, averaged about 50 points per game. They look to continue that pace on offense. You mentioned Butler, though. The signal caller for the Bulldogs, pretty good as well, Zach Lawrence.
Yeah, that guy right there, Zach Lawrence, number 16. You see him right there. Nothing but efficient with the football as well. Committed to UMass. Check this out. This is how you know he's a smart kid. Cybersecurity is what he wants to do with the rest of his life. Also, AI is something he wants to study. But one of the things you start to wonder when you watch him play football, you start to wonder, is he kind of AI? Because he doesn't make mistakes and does the right thing with the football all the time. And, oh, by the way, he can run a little bit.
He can. It should be a really, really great matchup between a couple of good teams. Like I said, no playoff implications as we're just in week one, but a playoff field here in Matthews, North Carolina. Week one of the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week when we return. The Rolesville Rams at the Butler Bulldogs, a repeat, except a different locale of week one game that took place to start last season. A couple of proud programs. Reggie, I'm going to get you to circle back on this new era of football for the Butler Bulldogs. Brian Hales announced his retirement after a lot of success and a long time with this program.
Yeah, Brian Hales was part of the staff here, part of staffs here for 20 years. And the latter 13 of those, he was the head coach. And look, he won a lot of games, a couple of state championships as a head coach, a third as an assistant. Now the program is turned over to Coach Farabee, Glenwood Farabee, who has done nothing but win in his time as a high school coach as well. When he was at Julius Chambers High School, they went to 3 straight state championships, lost the third to Cardinal Gibbons, but they won 2 in a row. So this guy in this area is well known, and people understand he knows how to coach high school football.
So it's a new offense, totally new scheme for the Bulldogs offense, which will begin with possession as Rolesville has won the coin toss and defers.
This is the number 4 team in the state.
The Butler Bulldogs taking the field for the first time this season in front of their home fans, and for the first time, as it is now known, Brian Hales Field. There you see Glenwood Furby on the sidelines, his first game as the head man.
Affectionately known as Coach Ferb. And if you're on the other side of him, usually known as somebody that you're upset with because his teams are playing well against yours.
He certainly hopes that's the case tonight. All of the Butler Bulldog Nation does.
You can feel it in here, Darren. This place, they are really excited not only for high school football to be back, not only for the history and tradition of this Butler program, but also the new era and the new coach. What is it going to look like? What are they going to be? How does it turn out for this football team? There is a lot of energy in this stadium tonight.
Riley Daniels kicks it off for Rolesville. He has a big leg.
Yes, absolutely can boom it. The lefty, so be careful. As a return guy, that ball comes off a little different.
And it's received at the 13 and returnable for the Bulldogs. And up to midfield.
The kicker making the tackle.
DJ Starling, the sophomore on the return. Good field position to begin the season for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Darren, right there, he ran into Herd Hernandez, his offensive lineman, one of the guys blocking out in front on that. If that collision doesn't happen, he may have taken that one to the house because he had to kind of restart his feet there. That probably would have been a touchdown. It would have been a fun foot race to watch, that's for sure. A lot of speed on this field tonight.
First look at the new look for the Bulldogs. Zach Lawrence out of the shotgun, has Jaden Williams to his left. That's Red Currents in motion. They immediately go deep, and it's aired out too far, just by a hair incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 50.
And that's an example of the talent of Zach Lawrence at the quarterback position. That was off his back foot, got a little bit of pressure in his face. He threw that off his back foot and nearly dropped it right in the bucket, unable to get the completion.
I was looking for Antavius Carpenter there, the senior. Speaking with Zach prior to the game, feels really comfortable with this new scheme, new offense. Said he learned it pretty quickly. Eventually it became him too, in addition to the coaching staff that was teaching the new system to other players. Now it's a handoff. Jaden Williams nearly wrapped up in the backfield. The third attempt brings him down. As that is Marquise Bryant, the sophomore.
Yeah, this Rolesville defense has a lot of speed. Bryant, one of those guys, comes flying up out of that secondary spot, doing an excellent job coming off the edge, filling that thing up, not letting anything get outside, pushes it back inside, makes the tackle.
Bryant, a 4-star that Rainier Rackley, the head coach for Rolesville, raved about with his IQ in mind. Very high football IQ. Here's 5 wide for Butler now on 3rd and 11. Lawrence goes down underneath. Nothing doing. It's back to the 50-yard line, and it will be 4th and 10.
Yeah, going to be tough to get those off, those types of screens against this Rolesville defense. All 7 of those guys in that front 7 group, they all do an excellent job not only getting up the field and creating pressure, but then retracing their steps, rerouting, redirecting, and then getting to the football. And you saw an example right there.
Defense by Rolesville. Mentioned when we spoke to Coach Rackley, obviously they've got a lot to be excited about offensively. He said, Reggie, that he's most excited about the defense this year.
Yeah, particularly the defensive line. He thinks this defensive line has the potential to be the best defensive line in the state of North Carolina. That's saying something.
Bulldogs to punt it away. It is a high kick and caught. Not much on the return, but Rolesville will begin on the good side of its own 20-yard line.
Now look, as much as we just said and just talked about what we saw defensively from this Rolesville team, you could say much of the same about Butler defensively. Not as big in that front 7, but active A lot of speed. They get to the football. They show up in bunches. This is a really good group on defense as well.
Braden Atkinson on the play fake. Immediately goes to the near sideline, and it doinks off of the helmet of the defender.
Jaden Alford running down that sideline. Another one of those athletes that they have committed to Elon currently, about 190, 195 pounds with plenty of speed. Excellent coverage there defensively. And I'll tell you what, Atkinson, I think, maybe predetermined that because I thought his tight end working up the seam was wide open on that play.
Now 2nd and 10. Atkinson sends a man in motion.
Unbalanced formation here.
Gavin Waddell moves from left to right. That's where it goes. Waddell on the screen. Breaks up field and is dragged down just past the 30-yard line.
So what they did there, and they had the receiver to the left off the ball so he could go in motion. The other 2 receivers to the backside were on the ball. So they take the motion over there. Then they just throw the screen with those 2 receivers out there in front. They got a 3-on-2, so they throw the ball out there quickly and see what they can get. Love that play call. Good, simple mechanics there by the quarterback.
A short 3rd down. Atkinson hands it off.
Did we just see an I formation?
We did in the year 2024, and it got the conversion.
Absolutely. I formation, little H back as well, and they punch it up inside. And this is a group of running backs that's really good as well. Devon Thomas is sort of the leader of that pack, number 0. Not the biggest guy, but he says his goal this season is 2,000 yards. 2,500 on a great year is what he says.
One of the team captains for this Rolesville team, and he gets it again, a step to the inside between the hashes, tripped up. That'll get a couple, if not 3 or 4 yards.
They're gonna have to, if Butler wants to stay in this game and minimize this offense, they're gonna have to keep him under control without having to load the box, because if they have to load the box against this receiving core and that quarterback, it could be a very difficult night.
Gets it to the 36, so 2nd and 8. Jumbo formation for Rolesville. It's another handoff.
Look out.
A breakthrough. Thomas dragged down, got the 1st down and then some, and is inside the 35.
Just a great job by Thomas. Follows his blockers, and then that slight cut to the left, and then he accelerates and explodes. Good job getting him on the ground there, keep him from getting to the end zone, but big-time run there by Thomas.
25 yards on the carry. Ball is at the 34-yard line. Atkinson now drops back, looking to his left, looking end zone. Waddell is there and catches it on a knee. That's a touchdown for Rolesville.
Gavin Waddell, another guy, over 1,500 yards last season, 15 touchdowns. Him and Alford kind of compete and push each other, does an excellent job there. Just outruns the defender down the field and gets the nice go ball for a touchdown.
34 yards, and Rolesville's going to go for 2. Atkinson fakes the pitch and dives over the goal line himself.
And the patience there by Atkinson. Be smart with the football there. Didn't see the pitch, faked it a little bit, and then was able to dive in there and get the 2 points. And that is a quick start by Rolesville offensively. They get the stop on defense and then immediately go down and score offensively to take an 8-0 lead.
46 touchdown passes a season ago for Braden Atkinson. That's his first of the 2024 campaign. And now Rolesville will kick it off again. Second opportunity offensively for Butler.
Back deep for the Bulldogs, number 1, D.Q. Thomas. And number 21, D.J. Starling.
Bit deeper this time. It lands in the end zone for a touchback. So Butler will begin at their own 20-yard line. The Rolesville team that has 18 starters back from a season ago, and it's not like they're just promoting from within to fill those gaps. Reggie, a lot of newcomers via transfer too, so
check this
program,
out.
they feel like they really have filled the voids.
But they bring everybody back on offense except for their left tackle, Jacoby Campbell, who's at James Madison University. So pretty good football player in his own right.
Zach Lawrence again leads the offense for Butler.
I think that's going to be a delay of game.
It is, in fact, against the Bulldogs.
The last thing you want to do against this front seven is get behind the chains, because I'm telling you, they can absolutely come after you off the edges. Guys like Xavion Griffin-Haynes, number 9, watch him coming off the edge. I mean, he absolutely looks the part of an edge guy, outside linebacker, defensive end type.
Lawrence on a handoff, not much there. Tried to bounce out to that far side, maybe a gain of a yard. We'll see what the spot indicates.
Sets up second down here for the Bulldogs.
Call it a yard, second down and 14 to go. Lawrence again with Jaden Williams in the backfield. This time he's going to pass. Williams catches, shoves a tackler out of the way, but it bounced him back behind the line of scrimmage. And he's brought down after no gain.
Yeah, again, going to be really difficult to go east and west against this defense with the kind of speed they have. Going to have to make sure to sustain blocks everywhere you go, because these guys do a good job of shedding and getting to the football.
Another third down that is not ideal. $14 to gain. Lawrence pursued, tosses up the middle, and it is gripped for the catch.
6.
Red Currents on his way to the end zone. There was a flag on the play right at the point of reception.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact there, and I think they're going to call that. I think that's going to be a defensive pass interference on Marquise Bryant. Looked like they were into some contact. Be very curious to see what they call here. It looked like defensive pass interference to me, but it looks like they're going to call defensive holding instead.
That obviously will not negate the touchdown.
How about that throw by Lawrence, though? Putting it right in the right spot, just over the defender, dropped it right in there. Big-time throw for a touchdown.
82 yards. Zach Lawrence trusts his receiver, DeQuadre Currents, who makes the play and makes Rolesville pay.
And Darren, as you know, last season we were here, and DeQuadre Currents had about as good of a, 10-minute real-time stretch, about 4 minutes of game action as you could probably ever see in high school football, including a punt return for a touchdown.
Butler, rather than trying to match the two-point conversion, will kick the point after, and it sails through. A flag down. And it's roughing the kicker, it looks like. That will be applied on the kickoff. So 8-7 the start to this one. Rolesville with a 1-point lead, 6:46 remaining in the first quarter. Butler here at their home venue, Brian Hales Field in Matthews, North Carolina, draws it within one after their first score of the season, 8-7. And look at this. After, I believe, multiple penalties are being assessed, they are kicking off from Rolesville's 35.
I'm a little confused because the pass interference on the touchdown, you don't enforce that because it's declined to keep the touchdown. The roughing the kicker on the extra point, normally you're kicking from the 40, so they should be kicking from the plus 45 instead of the plus 35.
Well, this is an easy assignment.
And I think they're going to correct this. Or are they going to delay a game on the kicking team?
Maybe this is a ball don't lie situation. It's just going to even out the way it should have. Either way, a very, very short kick, or a short 10 to kick. As we are now backed up to the 40-yard line of Rolesville. So it's going to get re-teed again.
Darren, we said the playmakers were going to be here. We've seen it already from both sides. Some early fireworks and big plays. And here we are.
Here we are from the plus 40-yard line, the kickoff out of the back of the end zone. And it'll be a touchback to get Rolesville started. A lot of big playability. We haven't really addressed that. We didn't need to because they showed you instead.
Absolutely, and I think that's going to be the interesting thing in this game. Both teams are going to have to minimize self-inflicted wounds, right, mistakes, and then the second thing you're going to have to do is hit your opportunities down the field or get a couple of those big runs like we saw Thomas get through for one earlier. Can they get it all the way to the house? That's going to be the difference in the game. Taking care of the football, minimizing pre-snap penalties to get you behind the chains against these defenses, and then hitting your opportunities.
Second drive for the Rams. It's Devon Thomas on a handoff. Gets to the outside, shuffles toward the sideline, dragging a man with him, gets nearly to midfield. It's a long run of 29.
Watch this patience right here. You see how he just waits it out? He lets the guys overrun the play, gets back up inside, and then gets to the sideline to use that speed. That's excellent vision and, even more importantly, great patience for a guy as he finds his way to get big-time yardage. That's excellent, excellent patience by the running back there.
It's it to the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Rams. Waddell in motion. The inside man on that strong side of the offense. Bottom of your screen, Atkinson looking to that direction, is flushed out, dumps it down low. Here's Thomas on the reception, jukes inside and gets another first down.
Yeah, Thomas he's just difficult to deal with, showing his ability there to catch it out of the backfield. Looks like he's going to go to the sideline now. No, he's going to stay in there, but that's one of the things. You look at him, not the tallest guy, about 5'9", but almost 200 pounds, so you're not going to get him down with arm tackles. He can, obviously, we can see him at what he can do running the football. Then he gets it in space there, catching it, and he's able to make a play and move the chains.
From the 39-yard line now. Atkinson under center. Hands off. A run to the outside. Xavier Lewis with his first carry of the season. It's not quite to the 10-yard line. Looks like the spot's at the 13.
Yeah, Xavier Lewis just running through arm tackles, big, physical, about 215 pounds as well. Goes off that right side, picks up a first down.
A transfer from Leesville Road, 3-time Conference Player of the Year. Has been in wrestling state championship matches a few times as well. Big-time athlete. First and 10. Atkinson gives it a big tackle. Takes out Amir Brown.
Big tackle for the loss.
Jeremy Nixon on the play, the senior defensive back.
That's playing to what you're taught, right? The ball goes away. If you're that backside, you go flat down the line of scrimmage and you meet them at the apex of where they turn the corner. That's an excellent job. Good job defensively, understanding the read, chasing it down and making a play from behind.
Nixon, for sure, a ball hawk. He's been said to have many pick sixes in their early preseason camp. Now on second and long, Atkinson, the play fake, goes corner of the end zone. Waddell again, and he's overthrown.
Yeah, they just ran one of those old school, like kind of smash concepts. So the outside receiver just goes up and runs a little stop route. Then the inside receiver pushes up toward the back of the end zone and then goes to the corner. They try to throw it over the top, see if they can trick that underneath defender into jumping that route. And then that backside guy is wide open. Great job by Butler handling that in the coverage, and it ends up being an incompletion.
Now third and long for Rolesville. This is the first time they've had this kind of situation. The 1-for-1 on thirds. Last one was the I formation run with 3 to go. Atkinson hands off. That's Jonathan Dunn. A shuffle in between the hashes and gets it to the 10-yard line or so.
Number 12, Jonathan Dunn.
They're going to bring in the kicker here.
So Riley Daniels will come out to attempt a field goal. That centered him up quite a bit. He is toward the right hash as a left-handed kicker, or a left-footed kicker.
He's got a boom for a leg, though.
About a 28-yard attempt. And he puts it through.
And the field goal attempt is good. 3 points on the
That would have been good from about 40.
11. Bulldogs, 7.
Well, head coach Renier Rackley told us when we met with him pregame for just a moment down on the field, he does not like to leave points on the board.
No. And that's, you know, when you have a luxury of a kicker at the high school level that can make sure you get points every time, that's something that's just, I mean, that is a weapon that you cannot put into words.
It extends the Rolesville lead 11-7 here in the first quarter. Some feisty play defensively. I mean, we've seen both teams break out the big plays, but that doesn't mean the defenses have not been impressive.
Both of these defenses, I thought, theoretically have played really well. Look, anytime you have this many athletes on these two offenses, you're going to give up a play here or there. It just so happens that a couple of times the play that's been given up has been a touchdown.
Daniels, who just got his first field goal of the season, kicks it away. And this is returnable for the Bulldogs. A trip at the 20-yard line. Great play by Devon Thomas on the special teams there. Makes the tackle and brings down Tavius Carpenter.
Amir Brown and Isaiah Houston, both number 2s respectively. Little extra conversation, if you will, at about the 35-yard line after that play. You love it. They were jawing a little bit, but the officials didn't have to get involved. They're just out there having a good time. It's the first time of the season you're able to hit somebody with a different color uniform on. Control the emotions. I think that's okay. I think it's 2 kids just being involved, and obviously nothing came of it.
Zach Lawrence out of the shotgun. Red Currents in motion. Flushed out of the pocket. Tries to throw it to the middle of the field, and it's knocked down incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I'll tell you what, Darren, watching this secondary, when they get motion, the way those guys move in unison, it's really, really interesting to watch. They've done an excellent job, clearly, the Rolesville coaching staff, in terms of coaching those guys up on understanding what they want to do with different things. Keep an eye on the secondary. If you see motion, watch those guys move in unison all to get realigned and assigned so they can make the right decisions.
Trips receivers on one side. It's a quick handoff for a short gain. And this is still an uncomfortable third down for the Bulldogs, about 7 yards to gain.
Yeah, because of what this defensive front can do, it is uncomfortable. All of these guys up front have the ability to create havoc by getting into the backfield. And so you've got to make sure to keep those guys under control to give Lawrence a chance to pick apart that secondary.
And motioned out, Lawrence alone in the backfield, and nearly has it picked off. Instead, it drops incomplete. Javon Wright makes the play for Rolesville.
Yeah, it's a good job by Wright on the out route, getting underneath that ball and getting his hands in there to knock that one away. He tipped it up in the air, and he went after it. He was trying to see if he could beat it to the sideline and catch it and turn up the field, try to go get 6. Good coverage there, excellent recognition by this secondary, understanding the route combinations coming to him, and then loading up and getting a defensive stop.
Another big stop on third down for the Rams, as it is set to be punted away. There goes the kick.
Short.
Bounce at midfield. Everybody's going to leave it alone. And the Rams take over at their own 43-yard line. Well, they will, as soon as it's down.
Eventually, the officials blew it dead. Yeah, you got to be careful.
Sometimes you blow it dead. The second it stops moving for a beat.
Yeah. Well, and as a defender, you're taught, right? If you're on the punt team, you go down and touch that football and you hand it to the official to make sure nothing goes awry for your team.
.312 remaining in the first quarter. Set at the 44-yard line to begin things for the Rams. They've scored on both series so far. Atkinson dumps down low, caught by Jaden Alford, who gets past the 50 and onto the other side of the field.
Yeah, he just looked out there. They saw off coverage for Jaden Alford. Just throw it out there to him and let him go to work. And he picks up a nice gain there, about 8 yards. 2nd and 2, the playbook's wide open. They could take a shot here. They could run the football here. That's how you end up with a 72% completion percentage. You take those kinds of pitch and catch type throws.
Thomas right behind him. Atkinson out of the shotgun. Hands off. Thomas bounces outside and evades everybody on the defensive line. A step across a man. He's inside the 25. A flag flying behind him that might bring it back for a hold.
Yeah, it came from the umpire, so I think it's going to be a hold inside. Right there, number 74, the left tackle. I think they're going to get Logan Pulley there on the hold. It was a little bit more of a takedown there. That one's going to bring it back.
That is confirmed. Holding against the Rams. Otherwise, that would have been a pretty big one snapped by Thomas again.
And that's why if you're Logan Pulley there, the defender's going where you want him to go. Just ride him out instead of taking him down. The takedown is what got the call there.
Back to the 48. Still 2nd down. Atkinson, play action. Goes outside. Gavin Waddell catches, turns upfield, and is pushed out inside the 40 on the other side. Another 1st down.
That is a long throw. That's a big-time throw by Atkinson. He's basically on the left hash. He throws that ball all the way to the opposite sideline. That is a college-level throw for sure.
Now 1st and 10 from the 38. Atkinson quickly gets rid of it. Catch at the sideline, a spin, and out of bounds goes A.J. Roberts, the sophomore receiver.
See, that's what these receivers do. Because of their speed and their ability to make plays after the catch and their speed to just run by guys, you play off, and then they just take what you're giving them underneath and march the football down the field. It's good patience by not only Braden Atkinson, the quarterback, but that coaching staff when they call those plays to be in acceptance that we don't have to get everything every single play.
1st and 10 yet again, now from the 27. Atkinson fakes the handoff, whistles, and a flag out at the far sideline there, right at the line of scrimmage, Reg.
Yeah, it's either got to be some kind of a false start or a formation issue.
False start against the offense. So some penalties here in the first quarter.
Not surprising, though. First game of the season for both teams. Maybe a little early season jitters, maybe a little nervousness, maybe a little bit of working on timing. All of those things a factor.
1st and 15 now from the 32. Atkinson fakes the handoff to Dunn, spins it outside. Jack McHugh.
They just take whatever you give them on the offensive side of the ball. Nothing spectacular, just, okay, you're coming with a little bit of a +1 pressure. The one guy that would be in to block that guy is slipping out. You can't account for it. I'm going to throw it out to my fullback, let him get positive yards, and then we'll line up for 2nd down.
Gain of 7, got it to the 25-yard line. Now it's 2nd and 8. McHugh, the man in motion there for a short jaunt. Play action, Atkinson zooms a pass to Roberts, who can't squeeze it and reel it in.
That was great patience by Atkinson. He was looking over the top, and it wasn't there. Then he throws a little bit of a fadeaway jump shot underneath on the crossing route, but they're unable to get it completed.
That makes it 3rd down for Rolesville. With 8 yards to gain.
Soft coverage out to the left of this offense.
Atkinson again fakes the handoff, goes deep toward the end zone, and it's out of the backside. 4th down.
Here comes the kicker.
Yeah, from the 25-yard line. This is going to set up for about a 42-yarder.
If you let Coach Rackley tell you they expect this to be good, obviously they do. They're running the kicker out there, but he told us very matter-of-factly when I asked him, well, where are you going to let the kicker take an opportunity from? He goes, 54. So they feel like this at 43 yards is kind of a chip shot for this kid.
He hit a 28-yarder earlier. Riley Daniels sends it up and through the uprights. 2nd field goal for Daniels, that time from 42 yards, but a flag on the play.
It's going to be roughing the kicker. The question is, do you take the points off the board here if you're Coach Rackley? The penalty would take you down around the 12 or 13-yard line after the half the distance because it's less than 30 yards.
Roughing the kicker confirms.
And he's going to take the 3 off the board as you see the aftermath there, taking the kicker out. So and, of course, he still hit it.
Penalty.
Yes.
This will still be Rolesville football.
Correct.
But you walk up the yardage.
It's a 1st down inside the 15-yard line, I believe. Should be somewhere around the 13.5, 14-yard line. It won't be the full 15 because you're inside the 30, so it'll be a half the distance. And they're going to set it, looks like right there at the 13-yard line.
Yep. 1st and 10, 13-yard line. I mean, I think if you're Coach Rackley, worst case scenario,
you kick it again. You
play
end up,
smart
right.
on the third down. You're able to kick it again from a shorter distance.
Absolutely.
Atkinson quickly turns, launches it over what else had an out of bounds.
Yeah, he had to get rid of it quick and put a lot of heat on it because you throw it out there in front of red currents. They call him red. Number one, if I can get the words out, DeQuadre Currents. You throw it out there too many times and you throw it late, he's going to be stepping over lines down the sideline. So the decision there by Atkinson to quickly get the football out, maybe a little bit too much on it. His receiver couldn't get around in time.
2nd and 10. Atkinson with a couple of backs, fakes the give to one, tosses it to Devon Thomas. A cut inside, flag comes out. He gets to the end zone. But it looks like this one's going to come back too.
Yeah, I think they're going to get the tight end number 14, Davis Brown. You'll see it out here on the left. Davis Brown's right there to the left of your screen. You'll see him right there to the left, right there. That play right there, that's a handful of jersey on that left side. That's going to be the penalty, and that's going to take that touchdown off the board.
Reggie with the explanation before the officials have it. That's why we just.
I mean, I'm watching the game.
You also don't have to converse with everybody else.
That's absolutely right, and figure out the yardage and the down and distance.
Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
Not to make fun of them. It's
no,
just,
it's their first game too.
That's true.
These guys have done a really good job so far tonight, though. It's been a good officiating crew.
2nd down and long from the 21. Atkinson steps up, fakes a throw, brought down near the 15. That's actually not a bad job of it there, considering what was given to him. Really good job by the Bulldogs defense.
Yeah, and he's deceptive. Braden Atkinson, not known as a runner, but he can move around and get himself out of trouble. Acquitted himself there very well, especially considering now it's been a couple of years, but for a young guy, remember, his freshman year, he tore his ACL and missed an entire season. So his ability to sort of trust his body and still be able to make those kinds of plays as such a young player matters.
Now it's 3rd and 12. Atkinson pursued, zips it up the middle. It's tipped and intercepted in the end zone. Touchback. Butler takes over, and they have turned over the Rams.
Now look, this play was made right there over the middle at that safety spot. The big hit. And one of the things about it for a receiver, in this case Jaden Alford, he saw that safety back there waiting to deliver the blow. I think that impacted his ability to make that catch. And then every coach will tell you, we love tips and overthrows on defense. That's a tip situation. Butler goes and gets it out of the air for an interception.
And what did we say earlier? Coach Rackley told us he hates to leave points on the board.
Absolutely.
You had 3.
Yep.
Not that it was not the smart move to accept the penalty and try to get 6. And now the ball's loose. Butler fumbles. And Rolesville recovers.
And that's the other thing we talked about, turnovers. That was a very, very late decision. I can't tell if Lawrence was looking to pull it there late or give it there late, but the mesh point was a little bit dirty, if you will, there. They didn't get on the same page quick enough, and they put the football on the ground.
Jaden Fry, the senior with the recovery, gets it right back for the Rams at the Butler 16. Atkinson, last play of the first quarter.
Oh, screen.
A screen pass. Finds Thomas, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's an excellent play call. Just go to the screen. This front seven has been creating a little bit of a problem for this offensive line in spots. How do you slow a pass rush down? You throw a screen pass over their head.
Now the two-point conversion goes as well. Jack McHugh in the center of the field catches. There's a flag out as well.
I think Atkinson took a shot late. Yep, it's going to be a roughing the passer, which they'll enforce here on the kickoff.
So the two-point conversion successful, and now it is 19-7, a 12-point lead for Rolesville at the conclusion of the first quarter. What a start to our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. A short field touchdown, 16 yards. The second passing TD of the day for Braden Atkinson. He found Devon Thomas on the screen. Penalty enforced on the kickoff, so goes out of the back of the end zone, and the Butler Bulldogs will take over at their own 20 to begin the second quarter. 12-point lead for the Rams. We said earlier, Reginald Walker, by the way, and Darren Vaught. We said earlier, this has got like a playoff feel to it.
Yeah.
These are two teams with big-time postseason aspirations beginning the season against each other for the second season in a row. Last year it was Butler at Rolesville's place.
Yeah, two teams that want to test themselves early. Two teams, if you look at both of their schedules early on in the season, you go, man, they're going to find out real fast how good they are because they're playing some really, really good competition early. Long ride for Rolesville down here. Obviously, as you mentioned, Butler made the ride up that way last year.
Zach Lawrence escapes pressure and gets it almost to the line of scrimmage.
Zach Lawrence showing some athleticism and escapability there. Kind of closed in there and steps through a tackle there, and all of a sudden he's back at the line of scrimmage. Keeps them even with the chains and not behind them.
Big number 3 in white, Xavier Lewis in the middle of that defensive front. Had him wrapped up seemingly. Lawrence slipped underneath the would-be tackle. Now it's a handoff. That is stuffed. Maybe a yard on the run to make it 3rd and 9.
It's tough when a defensive front is this good when you run right at them, and then they've got the kind of speed when you try to go around them that this group creates. You're just going to have to be sound at the point of attack and do an excellent job sustaining to keep this defensive front at bay.
Favorable spot, so now it's 3rd and 8 for Butler. 0 for 2 on thirds in the first quarter. Lawrence drops back to pass. Goes out, almost intercepted again, but it ricochets to the ground, incomplete. Big opportunity for Cannon Marshall. He can't come up with it.
Yeah, receiver slipped right in front of him, and that ball just got on him too fast. Zach Lawrence put some heat on that one. Also on that play, Javon Wright, the corner. So they had a trips formation in front of him, trips to the left. This is excellent cornerback play. He was able to get his hands on number 1, get a piece of number 2, and then reroute and run with number 3, all at the snap of the football. I know that's a little extra for me, but when you see cornerbacks doing that kind of stuff, you understand how well they're coached.
Butler to punt it away on 4th down. It's another short punt. And it's down at the 43-yard line. That's good field position for the Rams.
It is, and this is a drive here. If they go down and get some points, they start to make Butler start to potentially have to feel like they're one-dimensional.
Rams back out with the offense. 1st and 10. 2 touchdown passes for Braden Atkinson, their quarterback in the first quarter. Takes a handoff, goes to Jack McHugh. He was not quite on balance to bring it in.
And this is something to keep an eye on. That's Jaden Farmer, the best defensive lineman for this Butler team, plays on the offensive line as well. But if he's not out there, he limped to the sideline. If he's not out there, particularly when Rolesville's trying to mount drives, that could be an issue because he's an important piece to that defensive front.
It's a good catch. Really important player for these Bulldogs. 2nd and 10. Atkinson fakes the handoff. Gavin Waddell goes up off of 1 foot and makes the catch and is wrapped up and dragged out of bounds near the 30.
It's a nice job by Gavin Waddell to go high point that football, bring that down.
1st down, gain of 15. New set of downs at the 30 in plus territory for Rolesville. Atkinson gives Devon Thomas, wades through, hurdles him in, and is into the end zone. Wow! 30 yards.
Look at this, the nice little slip cut right here, and then the anticipation goes up over the top, allows the defender to take his own guy out, and then right back to top speed on the landing to get in the end zone. There's a flag on the play. Darren, I'll be honest, at one point, that was illegal in high school football. So I don't know that they necessarily took that out. I'm not quite sure. Probably shouldn't admit that, but not quite sure. I don't know what the penalty is here. I don't think it is that. It is that. Well, they're calling a personal foul on the offense.
Coach Rackley seems to understand. It was an understanding nodding of his head, yes, when the call was made. We don't have officials mic'd up tonight like we sometimes would, so unfortunately we lack the explanation on that. Either way, it's a personal foul that negates an incredible touchdown run by Devon Thomas. Now 1st down again. Atkinson lanes Gavin Waddell in the middle of the field, and it's another catch for a 1st down for number 18.
Yeah, Waddell just so smooth in and out of his breaks, catches the ball clean. It's just a nice route, good catch there by Waddell.
First and 10 from the 18-yard line now. Atkinson under center, 3 behind him. It's a handoff. Amir Brown off tackle. Quite enough for another first, but another good run.
How about Devon Thomas out there in front doing some dirty work? There's a flag down over there, but he got a nice block out in front there.
The flag was literally picked up. And there's the signal that it was picked up in the way that, we typically mean it. And a timeout called by Butler.
Timeout call by the Bulldogs.
9:18 until the half. 12-point lead for Rolesville as they threaten again. Reg, this is a talented group. I mean, it's so funny to hear Rainier Rackley talk the way that he does about this team. He says, look, I'm an offensive guy at heart, but I'm a believer in this defense. I'm more excited about the defense for this team.
Well, you know why?
Then you talk to the running back, Devon Thomas, and he says, you mentioned his yardage goal for the year, another one, and it's, I quote, to be the hammer, not the nail.
Yes.
And then he just goes and hurdles a guy instead of trying to run right through him.
These kids have a mentality of we're going to find a way. Is really what Coach Rackley talks about as well, is they're going to do whatever it takes to win games within the rules. They're going to do whatever it takes to push through whatever the other team is trying to give them. And you've seen it, a lot of that so far in this football game, just a really good group of kids playing hard. They've made some plays so far. See what ends up happening the next 2.5 quarters or so of this football game.
No Thomas in the backfield here for second down. It's Brown to the left, Dunn to the right for Atkinson. He drops back, throws up the middle, caught through a tackle. Davis Brown dives to the end zone for 6.
So let's talk about this, right? First of all, just a little tight end delay, a little delay route, and they dump it off to him over the middle. He's able to get in the end zone. Davis Brown, he's got offers from Coastal Carolina and Troy showing interest as well. But think about this. You've got a receiver on one side in Jaden Alford he was an all-state guy. He's committed to Elon. You got a guy on the other side in Gavin Waddell who's got interest from schools like Tennessee, Miami, Duke, Wake, Coastal. And then you've got a tight end at 6'4", 250 pounds with good soft hands that can catch everything going over the middle. And, oh, yeah, you got a hammer, not a nail of a running back.
Riley Daniels good on the extra points. And Rolesville rolling 26-7 with 9:13 remaining in the first half. It's a 19-yard pass from Atkinson to Brown, third throwing touchdown of the night for Atkinson. First score of the second quarter for either side.
If you know the words to the song, sing along one time.
Lefty boot of Daniels kicks it away. It is returnable again for the Bulldogs. And it's up to the 30-yard line.
This is a nice run back here. Right there, if he doesn't get a piece of his own guy's foot, he's got a convoy in front of him. That might have gotten really, really interesting.
That's an important spot for this Butler team because Red Currents is on the other side.
Yeah.
Teams know.
Absolutely. I'm not kicking the one.
He can hurt you on the return. DJ Starling has assumed a lot of responsibility in that role this season. He's looked good on a couple of returns so far.
He really has. And what that's going to do is it's going to create an issue for a lot of teams. Do we even kick this football deep or just give up the field position to an offense with Zach Lawrence at the helm?
A slip screen to the outside, barreling near the first down marker. Maybe not quite enough for Jaden Williams. To move the chains. Let's see where the mark is. About a gain of 7 or 8.
But that's an important gain there. Gets them off to a good start on the drive. 2nd and 2 or 3 here. You can open the playbook up here. You can throw it. You can run it. You can take a shot even if you want to get all the way down the field.
Zach Lawrence takes that shot. Red Currents overthrown.
You kind of knew that was coming, a chance to take a shot. Lawrence put it out there just a little bit too far, which is that it takes some talent to do that, to throw it further than Red Currents can go get it.
Now a 3rd and short. This could be just like a small win for this Butler team with 3 yards to gain. They're yet to convert on 3rd down tonight. Call it 2.5. Now a screen pass is caught, and that'll be plenty for the first down.
That's a good job by Donovan Pollard on that route. He pushes up the field. The throw is coming towards him, but he continues to work to the middle towards the football. He doesn't wait on it, and it keeps the defender on his back, so he's able to make that catch.
1st and 10, their own 44. Lawrence wasting no time, fakes a handoff, gets it right back to Williams. Pass midfield, shoves a man off of him, and he's got something to say to Javon Wright.
This is a good job by Lawrence. A little bit of a low snap, gives the play action fake, then makes a quick decision to get it out there to his back. Sees he's got an advantage on the coverage. Nice job there, getting the ball out quick, and they pick up another first down.
The Bulldogs have something cooking here.
Yeah, they're going with tempo, going a little bit faster, spreading this field out, and they've had some success with it.
1st and 10 from the 40. A lot of communication here with the back for Lawrence. Low snap, it's a handoff. And not much, but forward momentum.
That's about the 3rd consecutive snap that's been a little bit low. Something we should keep an eye on moving forward here.
2 yards on the carry.
Xavier Lewis slinging the ball carrier down to the ground.
21, DJ Starling. Tackle made by Xavier Lewis. Sets up. 2nd and 8 here.
2nd and 8, Lawrence. Another low snap, goes down and gets it, floats it up at the sideline. And DJ Starling hit hard on his way to try to catch that. A flag comes out.
Yeah, and essentially this is a simple play. It's not that he's considered defenseless right there in the air. You can't make that hit. This is what they've legislated out of football. He's considered defenseless. That's why this is a penalty. Yes, it is a shoulder in the chest. I understand all of that. This is a penalty because he is considered a defenseless receiver in that particular situation. That's where the penalty flag comes in.
You are the former Penn State defensive back. What is the play there for the DB who is coming off the backside?
When I played, I'm doing that.
Right.
But now you cannot do that within the rules. They've legislated that out of the game. I understand what he was doing, but I think they're going to call this defenseless. That's the only reason for the penalty. If this is not considered defenseless, this is not a penalty.
So if you're the defensive back, let me ask this another way.
They're asking you to pull up, essentially.
Do you pull up or do you
or
go
you have
up
to
and
go
try
up
to
to
play
get to the ball? Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. If
It
there's
is-
a collision with him up in the air and they body bump as he's trying to get the football, that's one thing. But if you go directly for the hit like that, they're going to call that a defenseless receiver. That would be the only penalty here, in my opinion. It wasn't targeting. There was no helmet or anything like that. It was a shoulder. The question is, are they going to say he's defenseless? And it looks like they may be picking this one up. No, they're marking it off.
Starling, the sophomore, obviously shaken up. We had just lauded his play on kick
Oh, they
returns.
are saying targeting. I guess they're saying he launched. I didn't see the targeting. I see a defenseless receiver. That's the only thing I can see it to be, but they don't have the benefit of replay, obviously, at the high school level either. So they have to make that judgment call.
Makes it a 1st and 10 for Butler inside the 25 from the 23 with this next snap, although there's still some communication.
Trying to make sure Sterling is, because he was right near the sideline,
Yeah.
so trying to make sure he's able to get up and not potentially get contacted in the play once it resumes.
He seemed to be pretty shaken up. Obviously, we hope he's okay. And now we resume play. 1st and 10. Williams in the backfield with Lawrence, who delays a handoff. Williams slips through the center, breaks outside to the corner, and he's through for a touchdown. A 24-yard scamper.
How about Williams? Understands the delay there. Little shifty, and then watch the speed right there on the cut to the left, and then just outruns everybody to the pylon. That's a big-time run, showing the vision and then the speed to get to the corner and get in the end zone.
Point after attempt, nearly blocked, is up and through to make it a 12-point game. Rolesville 26, Butler 14, second quarter, as the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week continues when we return. Butler has pulled it back within 12, 7.5 to play in the first half of action here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. They kick it back away to the Rolesville Rams. This is returnable. Hesitation. A jolt through the middle. Still going. And pushed out of bounds at the 15, Marion Turner with the return.
Turner is another one of those guys, just made his way to Rolesville this year. Super athletic, plays on the defensive side of the ball in the secondary, but there you see his prowess as a return man, showing off that speed. Big-time field position for Rolesville.
The spot is at the 14. They have had some short fields already in this one, none like this.
Just a good job there by Turner, creating the answer for his team there.
Braden Atkinson with Devon Thomas in the backfield. Giving instructions, that's Jack McHugh in motion to the left side. Thomas receives the handoff. Off tackle, slips through, gets the first down, and is brought down shy of the goal line.
I'll tell you what, he just works slowly and patiently, and then all of a sudden he explodes. You see it there and just drags a couple of defenders down inside the 5-yard line.
Sets up first and goal here for the Rams.
And Jaden Farmer back out in the middle of the defense there for Butler. We saw him getting checked out for injury earlier. First and goal from the 3. Stack formation. It's a handoff. Devon Thomas is in for the touchdown.
And Devon Thomas picks up 2 yards for another Rolesville touchdown.
Again, they go I formation, a little power I, a little H-back, fullback, and everything off that left side. Thomas is able to get in the end zone. Tell you what, Darren, I love the variety of this offense. One play you look up, they're in 5 wides, they're in empty. Then the next play you look up, they're in a power I with an additional H-back in the backfield.
Riley Daniels with the extra point attempt. It sails through. And it is 33-14. The variety, for sure, is what's, I think, most impressive about this Rolesville attack, Reggie. Because you've got Atkinson. He's reliable. He's not going to turn it over often, right? Only 4 interceptions a season ago. Just the one tonight compared to a few touchdowns.
Which was off a tip.
Yeah. But the run game has maybe been the most important thing for them in this one.
Well, it's the balance, right? You're forced as a team defensively in Butler to try to figure out what they're going to do. And anytime they can get you on your heels, when you don't know what's coming, they've got an advantage. And Thomas has even shown, hey, they'll throw it to him out of the backfield as well. So you've got to account for him all the way around. This is a team that put up 40-plus points a game last season, already with 33 here in the first half.
Daniels will boot it away. And it is back past the goal line. Whistles prior to that, and it looks like a flag on the kicking team.
Yep. And the good thing for Butler is they're likely going to get a chance to return this if it's kicked off from the 35 instead of the 40-yard line.
No DJ Starling deep to return.
And also our penalty call against the Rams. Will re-kick.
Daniels re-tees it. Again, like you said, this is for sure going to be returnable. Take 2. They squib it, the onside.
And they got it. I think they got it.
Rolesville has it.
Wow.
Rolesville recovers the penalty. First and 10 here for the Rams.
They got it up in the air into the perfect spot there. And then an excellent job by one of the outside men using that speed to get to the football to cover it up. That is a big-time, gutsy call there by Coach Rackley. Now, again, he's up 33-14 in the first half. Feeling good about things, but that is a big-time, I'm going to take another chance to put my offense back on the field.
At the Butler 39-yard line, no less. Atkinson quickly gets rid of it. Maybe intended for Waddell there. Either way, it's down at everybody's feet, incomplete.
Yeah, all three receivers are kind of looking around. I think maybe the wrong guy ended up running the bubble screen there. Looks like maybe somebody wasn't on the same page.
So 2nd and 10 for the Rams. Adrian Silver in motion. He's the back man on that trips.
This could be another bubble screen over there.
Atkinson hands it off to Thomas, but you saw Silver was there as a decoy.
Absolutely. And what they're trying to do when they do that is, can they get the outside linebacker, or as we call it, the alley player, can they get that guy to start peeking outside, maybe widen out, and the running back busts that run right where he was, and then you get a big-time play.
3rd and 7 for the Rams.
It's about influencing that alley defender on that one.
Takes the handoff. Jack McHugh catches. Saunters his way inside the 20, dragging multiple defenders. The flag was thrown behind him.
Yeah, they're going to get Gavin Waddell out here on the right side, number 18 to the right of your screen, right there. They're going to call that hold. He didn't agree with it, obviously, but the officials threw that flag.
It is in fact the case, so it brings it back another 3rd down. This one a bit longer. Spot penalty, so back to the initial line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 10. Atkinson moves out, will pressure his way. Zooms it, Waddell goes up and gets it, and has room to go afterward as he's brought down well past the 1st down marker, around the 10-yard line.
So you're a baseball guy. You hear them talk about exit velocity. Look at the velocity on this throw. That is why that football was able to get there. Atkinson put a little extra. We were talking about him before the game, watching them warm up. As you see the quick run there, but we were talking about him before the game and how he can just flick the football. You saw the arm strength on that previous throw.
Rolesville going with some tempo here. Amir Brown on that last carry. He'll get it again. And is stopped trying to run it up the middle. But it's inside the 5-yard line now. And they get the 1st down. So 1st and goal to go. Minutes, seconds waning in our first half of action. Quick chance for both teams to huddle. Not sure either got anything out of it. Atkinson with Brown behind him. Hands off. Wide open space into the end zone. Brown with the touchdown run.
And Brown just going off that left side. Nobody over there on the outside to keep him from turning that corner, and that's a walk-in touchdown. But the play of the drive made by that man right there, Braden Atkinson, that throw down the sideline to Waddell, the velocity of that throw is what allowed it to get through there. They picked up a big 1st down after that penalty.
Extra point is true for Daniels. And that's a 40 spot already for the Rams. Still 5 minutes to go in the first half.
And we talked about it coming into this game. Both of these teams have firepower. Rolesville certainly with that firepower. We talked about the receiving core, the tight end, that running back room as well. A lot of different pieces on that offense, and we've seen them display it throughout the game tonight.
We've got plenty more Week 1 high school football action coming your way tomorrow.
Yes.
Reggie, we make the drive down to Anderson, South Carolina for the Turf Kings Southeast Invitational. Charlotte's Mallard Creek will face Prince Avenue Christian out of Georgia, a big-time opponent there. And then West Side and Creekside facing one another. West Side and South Carolina, Creekside of Georgia.
Yeah, the folks at Turf Kings do an excellent job. Jabril Fuel over there, shout out to those guys. Do an excellent job. I'm looking forward to both of those games. Mallard Creek, we know what Kennedy Tinsley and his team can do. They always play really, really well. Physical bunch, run the football a lot. See what they look like this year. Then that Prince Avenue Christian team, a lot of athletes. Listen, they've got the previous two quarterbacks to the kid that's there now. We'll get into him potentially later and definitely join us tomorrow for him. But the two previous quarterbacks in their careers combined for something like 24,000 yards and 260 touchdowns.
Prince Ave, by the way, state champions in Georgia 3 of the past 4 years, including back-to-back.
Yeah, a school not far from the University of Georgia and Sanford Stadium, about 15 miles away as the crow flies, as they say.
Riley Daniels kicks it away for Butler to return this time. And another good Bulldog return despite no DJ Starling, although it's coughed up and recovered by the Rams.
I think they're going to say he was down.
I had thought that was the case, but no whistle or signal until after the ball popped out.
One of the officials came in and immediately said he was down. It's a great run. This has been where they've done a lot of really good work tonight. You see here, yeah, that ball, can't tell. But the official coming in from the left side of the screen, he was looking right at the play. The back judge, he immediately whistled it down. So his vantage point obviously gave him the ability to make an immediate call there.
So Butler football, Zach Lawrence slings it out. It's picked off. A step out of bounds. That's the guy who nearly caused the fumble just now. Marquise Bryant with the interception.
Yeah, Bryant's another good one. And this ball, I'm not quite sure the receiver even knew this ball was coming. He makes a break to the inside currents, and that ball's to the outside. Somebody not on the same page there, and it leads to an interception.
So the step out of bounds makes it Rolesville football at their own 48. What do you think the reason for that was, Reggie? Bryant just didn't see anywhere good to go with it?
Yeah, that, and most teams will tell you that the sort of rule is when you get a pick or a fumble recovery or something, go towards your bench. That's a long way to go. Bunch of red jerseys convening on them. Don't give up the turnover, step out of bounds, and get your offense on the field.
1st and 10, Braden Atkinson again, falling away. Hits his man. That's good for a first down. Jaden Alford.
Trust me, this offense, they are not going to create an opportunity to take their foot off the gas. They're going to keep going, and keep going.
1st and 10 at the 33 now. Atkinson again airs it out. To the 20-yard line, or down to the 20, I should say. Another first down on the catch by Davis Brown.
Another thing I noticed with Atkinson on every single throw, he puts it in a place to allow his guy to get additional yardage. There's not a lot of throws by him where the guy makes the catch and immediately goes down. When you've got these kinds of playmakers, you got to give them a chance. Give them a chance to make plays and turn a short completion into a big one.
Atkinson, another first down. This time from the 20. Drops back. A cut across the middle. Alford catches, and he is brought down, though it's well after the first. And this is machine-like. I mean, like you said, it's high percentage passes. Let the playmaker get whatever they're going to get after the fact. Sometimes it's going to, snap off for a long score. At worst, it's going to do this right here and get you 3 consecutive first downs.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to be efficient, be smart with the football, give your guys a chance to make plays, and then let the athletes do the work on the back end.
Goal to go from the 5-yard line. Play action. Atkinson toward the corner of the end zone, and it's out of the back for an incomplete pass. Was looking for Davis Brown.
And once again, Darren, they go back to that I formation look down there in the red zone. That time they go a little play action because the previous few times they've handed that football off.
Thomas is the back. Fake handoff. Atkinson goes to the corner, and it's knocked away incomplete, though there's a flag. That time he was looking for A.J. Roberts.
They tried to throw a little jump ball there in the corner. Defender a little late, ran right into him. That's going to be a PI every time. So we'll put the ball at the 2-yard line.
Atkinson quickly up to the line, hands it off, and a walk-in score for Amir Brown.
How about the block by Devon Thomas? Watch Devon Thomas, number 0, leading the way right here, closest to you. Watch this block right here. Bang! Takes a guy and puts him all the way 3 yards deep in the end zone. Gets this guy sprung for a touchdown.
Extra point from Riley Daniels is good to make it 47-14. Still 2:46 to play in the first half. Reggie, that's the 3rd consecutive rushing touchdown for Rolesville in about 4 minutes of game time.
Yeah, they've been absolutely, as you mentioned, surgical with their running game. And then we saw, remember, part of this run of scores here included, remember, the kickoff that ended up, they got penalized, so they had to kick it again, and then they pooched it and got it and basically onside kicked it, got the ball back and scored. So mix some of those things in there with the overall execution, and you get what you've seen so far from Rolesville, particularly over these last 3 or 4 possessions.
Dominance so far. And this is a Butler team that knows what it's up against in these first few weeks of the season. These are measuring sticks. This is a team that expects to be very good, expects to play deep into the playoffs. But Rolesville's that's a tough week 1.
Rolesville has the same expectations.
Yeah.
They absolutely have the same expectations. And listen, let's go back a little bit because Coach Rackley has been at Rolesville for a while. Coach Ferb, as they call him here at Butler, when he was at Chambers, he saw Coach Rackley in a couple of state championship games and was able to get wins. So Coach Rackley, and there's no love lost between these two men in terms of being in the field of competition against one another. So they both knew what they were up against tonight. Obviously, so far, everything on the side of the Rams.
Kickoff is sent away. Looked like Currents might assert himself and return it there. Instead, he gives way, and it's another nice return to get it past the 30-yard line for the Bulldogs.
Butler's done a nice job in the kick return department tonight. They've made some plays on offense, just haven't had enough. But they've made some really nice plays, set up their offense in good positions on kickoff return situations in this game. The issue has been this defensive front, particularly this front seven, has really made it difficult to get anything going consistently for Butler on the offensive side.
Looks like pressure on the way for Zach Lawrence. He hands off. Jaden Williams spins out of trouble and gets to the sideline.
Jaden Williams did good to get the 3 yards he got right there. There was a lot of white jerseys up around the line of scrimmage, and somehow he was able to get off the edge and get 3.5 yards.
Second and 7, 2.5 until halftime. Rolesville deferred after winning the coin toss prior to the start of this one, so the Rams get the ball to begin the second half. Another low snap for Lawrence. As well to execute the handoff, no gain for the Bulldogs.
And then the timing of the blocking can be off. You get a low snap, he's got to handle that football a little bit longer. The back's got to wait on it. Timing gets a little bit thrown off. And that defensive front, as good as they are, the last thing you need is to give those guys an extra half second to read what's going on.
And this is some sort of official's timeout to clear something up. And now some discussion with Coach Furby. What do you think that is? Maybe a point toward the play clock?
Yeah, maybe it's a play clock issue, and he's saying that they've got to turn them off because they're malfunctioning. It's like he's telling both head coaches. So they're either turning them off or they're saying only one is operational. So you're going to have to look one way the entire time. Or they're going to keep it in the back, potentially.
All right, third down for Zach Lawrence and company. There's Currents on the catch. A stutter step, jukes inside, nowhere to go at midfield, but he got the first down.
That's good play design. Nice call there at the time. Look at all this extra space out there for Currents when he makes the catch. Plenty of room. Makes one guy miss, steps up inside, gets over to midfield.
The Quadre Currents is an electric player. He's had some spots tonight, but obviously if you're a Butler fan, I'd like to see him get it in his hands even more. Not that the Bulldogs aren't trying for that. Play action, Lawrence goes up the middle, and it's another first down.
That's another completion. Another chance to move those chains.
Looks like Lawrence is maybe starting to find a little bit of a rhythm here. Playing with some confidence. And Rolesville's going to take a timeout here.
Timeout call by the Rams. What?
Well, maybe not the first half we thought we were going to get with this one on the Bahakel Sports game of the week, but it's been very clear. Rolesville, this is an impressive bunch.
Yeah, they really are. And you know what? The thing I mentioned, listen, you're so used to in high school football, right? Everybody's running spread RPO. That's everybody's running. You look at this Rolesville team, they're running some spread RPO looks. They're giving you some straight spread offense. air raid stuff. They're giving you some I formation stuff. They're giving you some bunch sets. They give you so much offensively. It's really, really difficult to make all the adjustments and the checks and understand what they're doing to you every time. I love the variety in their offense.
First and 10 out of the timeout for Butler. Zach Lawrence going deep with this one, off of fingertips. And down incomplete again, looking for Currents.
Yeah, Currents unable to come down with it. This is a heck of a throw, but it kind of turns him around a little bit. And the thing that's tough there, because some people would say, well, was the throw inaccurate? No, because there was a safety coming over the top, so Lawrence put it to the outside to give Currents a chance to go get it away from the safety help. So I like the position in terms of where he put the football. They were just unable to connect.
Now 2nd and 10. Lawrence again throwing, again going deep, and again it's overthrown. Again, I said it earlier, Currents hasn't had it in his hands as much as you would want if you're a Bulldog fan. It's not for not trying.
Yeah, and they may need to look at maybe trying to maybe get him on some kind of a screen kind of look. Get it to him underneath and let him make a play with the football after. The coverage has been really good. They're keeping a safety, as you see the holding call against Butler there, but they're keeping a safety in the area wherever Currents goes to try to keep him from hurting them over the top.
That penalty, by the way, declined by Rolesville, so they want to keep it 3rd down. 10 to gain for Butler. From the 33. Lawrence again. They tried to go with the screen, and it is tipped down to the ground, incomplete.
That pass falls incomplete on 3rd down. Sets up 4th down here for the Bulldogs.
It's as if Butler's going to go for it. I mean, they're sort of in that awkward range.
Yeah, it'd be a 50-yard field goal from here. Percentages not high there, so going to go ahead and go for it.
Lawrence again throwing, airs it out deep, and again it's overthrown. I mean, Rolesville's got every answer for this.
They do. Let's start with the fact that they've got long corners that play to their size, and then the other thing is their safeties do an excellent job staying over the top to keep anything from happening deep down the field. They're going to force this Butler offense to dink and dunk their way all the way down the field.
So it's a turnover on downs. Rolesville with it at their own 33. Atkinson on a screen. Devon Thomas leisurely gets the first down. And not quite to the 50-yard line. It's out of bounds.
That will move the chains. 1st and 10 here for Rolesville.
Atkinson looking deep, slings it. Waddell catches and is down inside the 5.
Wow.
Huge completion for number 18.
Watch Atkinson's throw. Look at this. It's just a little bit of a flick of the wrist. He's not putting a lot into this, and that ball is on the money for a first down.
Atkinson from the 5, a handoff. Thomas rumbles into the end zone for another 6. The Rams with the touchdown.
Look at Thomas just picking his way, finds a little space, gets underneath, and gets into the end zone.
Daniels with the point after. Puts it through. And Reggie, the game clock here in venue is stuck at 1:55. That's where it's been, was for that entire drive.
Yeah, they're keeping it on the field now, but we're not exactly sure how much time is left on the clock.
So we are under a minute and a half remaining in the second quarter. Again, official time is being kept by the officials on the field. So we won't know until they tell us. A 4th consecutive rushing score of 5 yards or fewer for Rolesville. They are piling on. On the road to start your season. This is loud.
Yeah, this is a message. Absolutely a message.
Riley Daniels kickoff goes all the way back to the 1. It's returned, but a swarm of Rolesville defenders swatted away. And another good Butler return.
They've been really good in the special teams so far tonight. Little bobble there. But somehow, oh wow, look at that. Just erasing the defender there. Jaden Williams, big time return.
That's his first time back there on the return. Remember, DJ Starling had a couple of good returns early and was knocked out of the game. They're just trying to have some kind of answer for teams kicking away from red currents. Mesh point. Ball fumbled by Butler, but Rolesville picks it up for another turnover.
Yeah, a little bit of an issue there with the exchange, and ball ends up on the ground. Butler really, really struggling.
All at the 30 for the Rams. Aiden Atkinson still at quarterback. Makes a handoff to Dunn. Rockets a pass. Caught by Alford. Shimmies out of bounds as he was struck.
You got to think now Rolesville playing the clock a little bit, trying to see if they can get some points before the end of the half.
Out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Again, we are not sure where the time is for the second quarter, but started being kept on field by the officials with under 2 minutes to play. Atkinson goes to the end zone. Complete.
Yeah, tried a little back shoulder, but it was a little low. And Alford not able to come up with it.
Second down and 10 to go at the 11. Atkinson on a little out. Odell kept his footing. Eventually the knee slips and hits the ground. So he's down. This will be third.
Yeah, and Rainier Rackley calls a timeout there. Trying to preserve some clock here going into the half.
So that stops the clock at something.
And to clarify, there is a rule in high school football based on the scoring margin, 40 points or more of a lead, halftime or later, it becomes a running clock. So something to keep an eye on in the second half. If all of a sudden this score holds or is similar and the second half goes pretty quickly, that would be an explanation as to why.
Especially if we get into that situation, Reg, and we don't know what the clock is.
Correct.
It might get hairy here.
Absolutely.
On the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
Absolutely.
So that's the timeout stops the clock here. All things equal into the second half, it will not be the case.
Looked like Jack LaMotta, also a rugby player, was showing off the footwork there in the timeout, number 62 there. Rugby player, left guard there. Not the biggest guy, but loves to get in there and get into the scrum, if you will.
Third down here for the Rams.
Third down for the Rams. 8 to go. Atkinson tries up the middle. It's tipped out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. That will set up fourth down.
If there is time left, I will imagine a field goal attempt here for Rolesville. No indication that the clock has hit 0, so out comes Riley Daniels. He is technically 1 for 1, a 28-yarder with 4:14 left in the first. He did hit a 42-yard field goal that they wiped off of the scoreboard because there was a roughing penalty, and they extended the drive with it. That one is good from 28 yet again. Second official make of the night.
57, Rolesville, 14.
For Riley Daniels, and now it is 57-14.
Wow. This Rolesville team, they have come in here and they've done a really good job of keeping this generally loud, rabid Butler fan base quiet. As you see Brown there, one of his earlier touchdown runs.
Well, the field goal ends a run of 4 consecutive rushing scores for Rolesville. That is the half, as we have reached zeros on the clock for the second quarter. Rolesville rolling 57-14 midway through here at Butler. a big disparity at the half here at the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Rolesville has come to Matthews and asserted itself halfway through, 57-14 over the Butler Bulldogs. With Reginald Walker, Darren Vaught. We got more games tomorrow. Maybe we'll have better luck on a close one with one of these. Mallard Creek against Georgia's Prince Avenue Christian, state champions in 3 of the past 4 seasons. That's at 4 p.m., the first of 2 games in the Turf Kings Southeast Invitational tomorrow right here on BahakelSports.com.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Mallard Creek, Kennedy Tinsley takes his team down the highway. They're going to play a physical brand of football. They're going to try to beat you up in a phone booth. It's going to be fun to watch. Prince Avenue Christian, they want to spread you out, make a bunch of plays.
And then for the nightcap, West Side, the host school of this event in South Carolina, Anderson, South Carolina, to be specific, welcomes Creekside of Georgia as well. The Turf Kings Southeast Invitational, a regional event, a lot of really great programs with these 4.
Yeah, the folks at Turf Kings do an excellent job. This is going to be a fun couple of games.
Meanwhile, 57-14, Rolesville on top of Butler at the half here in Matthews. Stay with us on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. It is halftime. Rolesville 57, Butler 14. An emphatic performance so far for the Rams. The sights and sounds of high school football are back as the Butler Bulldogs high school marching band just concluded its performance at the break. Plenty left to come on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Big lead for Rolesville halfway through. Stay with us. A big halftime lead for Rolesville on the road to start the season, no less. This is a loud 57-14 first half on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Maybe a dud of a game, but Reginald Walker Jr. still fired up. We've got a lot of highlights here. What's been most impressive about the Rams?
Yeah, when you think about this offense, I think for me, Darren, watching this offense, and as you see there, their defense has been really good, and we'll get to them more in a second. But offensively, I think it's the variety for me in a high school level offense to give you so many different shifts, formations, personnel groupings, and run it crisply. There haven't been alignment penalties, false starts, pre-snap penalties. None of that has been an issue for this offense. Defensively, they've given up a couple of plays, and you knew that was going to happen because Butler is good and athletic, and they've got some playmakers. But when you can make throws like that one right there and change the velocity of a throw and get it to a spot for your guy to make a play like Braden Atkinson has done throughout the night, and then running the football, the variety, we talked about it. Braden Atkinson is spraying the football all over the field to different receivers. They're running the ball with multiple guys with two different guys in the backfield have 2 rushing touchdowns in this game. And then defensively, they're creating turnovers in spots. We've seen a couple of issues with mesh points. They're creating turnovers in spots. And as soon as they get the ball back to this offense, those guys make plays and make you pay.
Braden Atkinson, 21 of 30 passing, 308 yards, 3 touchdowns. 474 total yards for Rolesville.
And the other thing is it's 20 first down. So they're not just taking big shot after big shot.
They've also only needed to convert 1 third down.
How about that? Yeah.
Only 1 third down conversion with the night that they're having. So 474 total yards compared to 150 for Butler. 84 of those were all on the same play. That was the DeQuadre Currents touchdown back early in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's been an absolute strong performance defensively by Rolesville. What they've done, especially after they gave up the one big play, they've done a better job with their safeties over the top, keeping everything in front of them, forcing Butler to dink and dunk their way down the field. They haven't been able to consistently drive the ball against this Rolesville defense.
It'll be a running clock to begin the second half. It's been that kind of a night for the Butler Bulldogs. Halftime with the second half oncoming, 57-14. Rams over the Bulldogs on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. about ready for the beginning of the second half. Bahakel Sports Game of the Week from Matthews, North Carolina. Butler High School trailing big time at the hands of the Rolesville Rams, their visitors, to open up the season. 57-14 with Reginald Walker Jr. I'm Darren Vaught. A look again at some of the highlights. Braden Atkinson, the star quarterback for Rolesville, 308 yards through the air and a few scores to go with that. A couple of turnovers forced for Rolesville, some key spots for those. And it has been all Rams. Butler really struggling to get things going on the offensive end, struggling to stop Rolesville on the defensive end. 474 total yards. For the Rams. More here with the rushing scores, 4 consecutive running TDs of 5 yards or fewer to close out the first half, second quarter for Rolesville. That interception for Marquise Bryant.
Amir Brown.
One of 2 rushing touchdowns for him.
Could Atkinson just put this ball on an absolute string down inside the 5-yard line? That's a big-time throw.
And a lot of these goal line situations, Devon Thomas.
And remember, he had a touchdown taken off the board, a spectacular touchdown run taken off the board after he hurdled a guy.
Yeah, that one that was negated would have been for 30 yards and would have been the first rushing score of the game. So that was early on. And as we get set for the kickoff, it looks, Reggie, as if the clock is still going to be kept down at field level. Because it reads 0s currently.
Back to the second half.
So we will do our best to let you know where the clock is. Unfortunately, we just don't have access to that timekeeping. Butler kicks it away as Rolesville deferred after winning the opening coin toss, and the Rams begin with possession. Bounce out of bounds. Amir Brown on the return gets past the 40-yard line.
And look, the interesting piece of this game here in the second half, we see the score. Rolesville, there's a lot of frustration after last season. You wonder how much and how aggressive they're going to be here in this second half on the road at Butler to try to potentially send a little bit of a message to the Bulldogs and maybe the rest of the state.
You called it a message in the first half when it started to get out of hand. Braden Atkinson remains in at quarterback. He hands to Devon Thomas. Stumbles his way forward for a gain of about 3.
Devon Thomas on the carry. Picks up 4 yards there to set up 2nd and 6.
We entered tonight excited, Reggie, because we knew we had a top 10-ish matchup in the state 4A ranks.
And look, regardless of what the final score ends up being, as you see a first down there, what the score ends up being in this game, I still think this Butler team is going to have a lot to say late in the season as it relates to the playoffs. I don't think this is a football team. This is not indicative of what we're going to see from Butler throughout the season. This is a good football team. They're going to continue to get better. Remember, this is a new coach, new systems, a lot of changes. They're figuring this thing out on the fly. I expect that they'll continue to get better throughout the season.
1st and 10, Atkinson hands Thomas's way. Jukes inside, still on his feet until just then. And is brought down for a gain of about 7.
I expect us to see a heavy dose of Thomas in the running game here in the second half. You know, Thomas wants to get his opportunities and get his yards. He's out of there right now, and Brown's in there.
Brown with the carry on second down. Spins, pushes his way through, gets the first down, and he's down at the 35.
And Brown's an interesting story, too, right? As a freshman, he's just a sophomore. As a freshman, he was at Cardinal Gibbons, ran for about 475 yards, a few touchdowns as well. Then he transferred to Millbrook back in February. Obviously never suited up there because now here he is at Rolesville. So he's an interesting story for a kid, but talented nonetheless. Understands it's his job to wait behind Brown, and then it'll be his time moving past next year.
Brown again up the middle. Stays on his feet. Battered through a couple of defenders and gets enough for the first down and move the sticks.
You see him again here. Look at his feet. They just never stop moving. Does an excellent job shifting his weight, stepping through and picking his way, and then gets north and south to get first down yardage.
First and 10, it's another run. Amir Brown gets through a couple of would-be tacklers and is swarmed. It's a couple.
A bunch of Bulldogs. Picks up a couple. Sets up second down here.
Personnel changes. I think they're going to open this thing up. They may go empty here or single back situation and probably look to push the ball down the field with this passing game.
Lawrence hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Atkinson, rather, hit as he threw. Incomplete pass for Rolesville.
Looking for Alford down the sideline. See, again, a little quick play action fake here, and then they look to go up top. Good defense there.
Makes it third down.
The breaker will set up a third down situation here.
9 to gain for Rolesville. 1 for 5 on thirds in the first half. And the handoff fumbled. Atkinson has to fall down on it. And now it is fourth down.
It's about the first time tonight we've seen just something that just wasn't clean offensively, but good job by Atkinson getting right on the football, maintaining some semblance of field position so that they can run the field goal kicker out.
Riley Daniels, a couple of 28-yard attempts, successful earlier in this game. This one's about 43 yards. And it is unsuccessful. Never even got up into the air.
And that field goal is blocked.
Butler with the block. I think that was blocked anyways. Otherwise, it was just a massive miscue by Daniels.
Yeah. So Butler offensively now taking over. See what Lawrence and his group can do here in this second half. Another look at it. Not quite sure he hit that one well. Maybe somebody got a piece of it as well. Couldn't really quite see exactly what happened there.
Zach Lawrence with a handoff. Jaden Williams. A lean inside, protecting the football, is brought down inside the 35. Big run on first down for Jaden Williams.
Yeah, it's a nice run by Williams. Worked his way to the left and watch the cut right here and gets north and south right there. Nice job getting back into the middle. Gets big yardage and then covers it up to maintain possession.
Nearly a 40-yard run to get things started for the Bulldogs. As good a start as you could have asked for if you are a Butler fan to the second half.
Timeout called by the Rams.
And a timeout, Rolesville. Rams up big, 57-14 in the third quarter. We're on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Another handoff for Butler on 1st and 10. The loss of yardage, Dayton Williams unable to escape.
By the Rams defense. Sets up second down here.
See Williams trying to turn that corner. That's a nice job playing that thing inside out. Keep him from turning that corner.
Marquise Bryant with the tackle, an interception earlier in the game for the Rams.
How good has he been throughout this game, huh?
Yeah, he looks good.
That kid's been all over the field. Excellent football out of him.
Coach Rackley praised him a ton when we spoke with him earlier in the week. Now Lawrence slings it up the middle. Pass is caught. First down and then some. And Red Current's a bit hobbled as he comes up after the reception.
Yeah, nice job playing through the contact there. Marion Turner unable to make the tackle clean there on the initial hit, and Currents picks up some extra yardage.
Much there, Xavier Lewis. Big body on defense. He's been trouble.
Yeah, about 250 pounds. Difficult to deal with at that line of scrimmage. He's shown the ability to run plays down from behind, penetration as well. And then, oh, by the way, we saw him get the football on the offensive side in the first half, and the big man can rumble.
Lawrence's throw, tipped up in the air, and it's intercepted. This will go for 6 for the Rams. Marion Turner all over that one.
Wow. There's a flag down near the 30-yard line. You wonder if they got one of the Rolesville guys maybe on a block. It looks like Butler's offense is staying on the field, so maybe it's a roughing the passer situation. I'm not quite sure, because it was obviously behind where the offense threw the football from.
Well, until we see what shakes out here, for now it's a 96-yard interception return for touchdown.
And it looks like it's coming back. Coach Rackley was gesturing to the officials. Not in a demonstrative way, just making a gesture, so not quite sure what the call is here.
Reg, I couldn't make out the signal.
I think whatever the call is, I think they're gonna show it. They're gonna give us the indication again, perhaps. So whatever they're calling, I saw a personal foul, but wasn't quite sure what it was for. But I think what they're saying is it happened after the interception, so it will remain Rolesville ball. Well, now Rolesville's offense goes back off the field.
There was a personal foul penalty called against the Rams.
Well, the signal was made, Rolesville football.
Correct.
And now they're stepping off yardage.
It will be 1st and 10 for the Rams.
And, I mean, this is a long jog.
Or are they saying the touchdown?
Okay, so the ball has now been spotted
At the 25-yard line of Butler. It looks like their defense is going back out onto the field. Now, Darren, if they're flipping sides here, it could have been an end-of-quarter situation.
Okay, and again, we do not have the game clock. We don't have access to that due to malfunctioning. The officials are keeping it themselves. Okay, so it is Rolesville football. They flipped the field. That's the reason for the long run. So no touchdown on the interception return. Rolesville, because of a penalty, keeps possession because it came after the interception. And
Correct.
Here we go. They flip to the field. Backups are in. We got a lot going on. We have no game clock. We don't know the penalty. Reggie Arpett's heads are falling off. What a week one.
This is called getting back into the swing of things. As you see, perhaps it's Ian Coleman working his way off the field. Maybe it's just the cramp. It's early season. Yep, they give him a muscle roller there, and it's going to be a hold on Rolesville assessed as well.
Round of applause. Bulldog fans for Ian Coleman as he's able to walk off the field under his own power.
Coleman, the senior, has been with this program a few years now. We've seen him. He's an impressive player, so good to see nothing serious there. He's just going to get rolled out, uncramped out. I will say it is more temperate than it usually is during our week one adventures. So thankfully not as much of the cramping and heat exhaustion potential as we usually have. Another run for the Rams as, again, backups are in. Peyton Miller has been the back on the past couple of plays. Mason Horn, the quarterback.
Mason Horn has been in the game a lot. He's the holder also on field goals and extra points, so it's not like he's been sitting over there completely cold. But I suspect he's going to do a lot of handing the football off here to eat up this clock.
Another give for Miller. And now it's going to be 3rd and long.
Number 20, Peyton Miller on another carry. Picks up maybe a yard to set up 3rd and 11 here for the Rams.
Third and 11. Pass caught. Adrian Silver spins to the outside, up the field and across the 50. He's brought down.
Adrian Silver's another guy that Coach Rackley really likes. It's just he's got so many other receivers that have made so many plays but Silver gets an opportunity here and shows that he can make some plays as well.
Mason Horn in at QB for the Rams.
Out of the pistol, Horn late to get the handoff to Miller. He bounces outside, stiff arms a man, and will gain about 4.
Some extra offensive linemen in there, getting some opportunities. See there, Amir Morgan, big number 79, the left tackle, just a junior. He is every bit of the part physically. Just got to continue to develop as a player, see what he becomes by this time next season.
Miller running again. Pushing the pile, now being pulled by the pile.
Number 20, Peyton Miller, moving the pile. Eventually stopped by the Bulldogs.
And that's Trent Careless, forgive me.
For the Rams.
Another back end for Rolesville. And another 3rd down. Third and 4, a burst up the middle, and Careless falls after getting the necessary yardage.
The Rams rush for a 1st down. 1st and 10 here.
It's a nice productive run.
For the Rams.
Another player showing that, hey, coach, give me an opportunity. I'll go make a play. I'll find a way to move the chains. These are important snaps for some of these younger players, some of these guys that don't get as many opportunities, to let this coaching staff know, hey, I'm ready. I can come in there and make a play. I can come in there and do my job.
Another new back into the game on the run there. It's Deshaun Anderson.
Anderson on the carry picks up a yard.
This group, this offense has come in here and really done a number. As you see there, another medium gain there to set up a 3rd and short.
Quick pass to the outside, Corey Owira. On the reception, 3rd and 4 again.
To number 80, Corey Owira. We'll set up 3rd down here for the Rams.
With the last 2 3rd down conversions, believe it or not, Rolesville has twice as many in the second half as they did the first.
Interesting stat. Uh-oh.
Mason Horn.
Silver
Finds Adrian Silver, who spins out of trouble and is into the end zone for 6.
Wow.
Adrian Silver.
That is about as good of an individual effort as you will see. Makes one man miss another, and then gets speed and then physicality at the end of the run to get in the end zone. That's big time by Adrian Silver. He's saying, hey, coach, I'm one of those ones at the receiver position we got on this roster.
Again, time officially is being kept by the officials down on the field, so we don't quite know where we are on the clock as Riley Daniels puts the extra point up and through to make it a 50-point game, 64-14 in the 4th quarter here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
Rolesville dominant, 64-14.
Butler on the kickoff return. A couple of tackles shaken, and finally some forceful work by Jaden Harris making the tackle for Rolesville.
First and 10 here.
Red Currents has not had much in the return game of an opportunity in this one. It's past the 30. Fourth quarter here on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Exactly where in the fourth quarter? We're not sure. Clock malfunction earlier resulted in time being kept down on the field by the officials. Bulldogs with a handoff. Nothing doing there, no gain. This has been some kind of performance by Rolesville.
It really has. Complete. I mean, I would say one of the spots that maybe Coach Rackley's going to have a lot of conversations about, kickoff coverage. Butler's had several nice kickoff returns in this game. That'll be it. Listen, every coach, they look for something to coach you on, even harder after a win. That's going to be likely one of those things for this Rolesville group.
Bulldogs keep it on the ground. And stoppage of forward motion. Whistles.
Speaking of the Bulldogs, Darren, look, they were, as you see, another look at the run there. They were 12-2 last year, right? Most of these guys are back. You got the quarterback that's back in Zach Lawrence. That's not going to go away. You don't become different level football players downward overnight. That's going to be a good football team. Coach Fairby, Coach Ferb, as they call him, 39-5 when he was at Chambers. He knows how to win football games. Don't let tonight, they're not going to let tonight deter them from what their goals are. Most teams and every coach will tell you game 1 to game 2 is where we have to make the biggest jump. I expect that to be the message this week for Butler as they look to come back next week and find a way to get back in the win column.
These are important games, although relatively inconsequential for Butler at the beginning of the season. These are sort of tuning games. They've got Weddington, Irmo, South Carolina.
This is going to be close. 4th down. I think they're going to call it a first down, but he went down right at the sticks. That's really close, but they're moving the chains.
First down run for Antavius Carpenter. And that appears to be the game.
And that's how the ball game will end.
Fourth quarter concludes, as does an emphatic 50-point victory for Rolesville on the road at Butler here in Matthews. 64-14, Rolesville gets the win. The Rams, I mean, that's as impressive as you're going to see a team be in week 1 of the season.
Absolutely. I mean, this was one of those games. All 3 phases, they were really, really solid. Again, we talked about they're going to have to clean some things up on the kick coverage team. But other than that, kicking game, in terms of field goals, they were solid there. Did have one blocked earlier in the game as well. So they're going to have to clean some of those things up. But offensively, this offense was absolutely rolling tonight. All the weapons. The offensive line, I thought, was excellent in this game as well.
For Butler, nowhere to go but up from here. I would expect that in the games to come. So for Reggie Walker, Brady Pugh, our producer, and the rest of our fantastic crew, I'm Darren Vaught. So long from Matthews on our first Bahakel Sports Game of the Week of the season. Have a great night.